Welcome back, everybody, to game number 1 in the finals. It's the last best of 3 we have for what was 2 groups, and this is the Group B finals. Congratulations once more go to DRG, who recently just qualified to the round of 8. But to introduce ourselves before we introduce the players, I am Rifkin, joined tonight by both Zombie Grub and Mal, and spawning in the bottom right corner of the map from Invasion. You can't see him. James just went wild on the camera. It's the blue Protoss Super. And then James, you want to get the other?
Yep. And the opposite side, getting some beating from another member from Team Invasion, facing off another Team Invasion person, Red Protoss first.
That was the laziest. The opposite side? That's how you said?
The opposite side is fine. It was the confusion that got like another invasion against another invasion.
Yeah. I should have just named. I should have just named. Dongregu and stuff. I wasn't gonna name, and then I found myself saying another too many times.
Fair enough. Okay. I noticed you've gotten a hoodie, and I'm kind of jelly because it is a bit cold. I also want to remind you that your thing might catch your microphone a little bit, so just be aware of that, so it doesn't create scratching.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you go.
Sir.
Assertive, deep voice, and dominant. But PvP, we haven't seen a lot of this.
That's the way Rifkin likes it.
That's the way, yeah. This is something we haven't seen a lot of in Korea. This is definitely something we've seen all over the place in North America, all over the place Europe, but it's been a while since we've had a good old-fashioned PvP. We actually had a show match request for this a few weeks back, if you guys remember. I think it was actually First versus... No, it was Oz versus First, I think, right? I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it was...
No. It was, who's that guy from Alien Invasion?
I know what you're talking about. Patience.
Sorry. You're right. It's I take that back. So it was not First, but the point was we saw a really excellent Korean PvP back then. It went pretty back and forth, but ended up, you know, being PvP. So some games were pretty short. I do love the long games of PvP, and I think they are some of the most entertaining in StarCraft 2. But too often times we see like a Blink build get auto countered, or we see just a 3-gate all in. I mean, I don't know where these guys plan to take it, but I do hope for at least one long game in this series.
Well, Rifkin.
I kind of get it from the casting's position. For viewer's position, I don't mind PvP at all. Even though, you know, some games are short, some games are retarded.
Caster really
I like
a viewer.
It's
like I'm okay as a viewer.
Well, it's not that I'm looking at this from a caster perspective. It's just like we see so much of the same. I love seeing things that are different. I mean, even though, like, let's say Terran versus Zerg is the same. You see Bio versus Banelings all the time, but it's how they handle it that goes so differently. In Protoss versus Protoss, because Blink is so often like shunned upon, I feel like we don't have that same diversity.
Really? I feel like PvP should be the most entertaining matchup because it does have so many very different build orders.
The build orders are different,
Oracle, Stargate, Phoenix, Blink, Robo, all-ins. Like, there's actually 2 different compositions you can do as well. 3 if you include like fast Tempests. Like, there's actually so much variety, but I think it's a big, like, a combination of a big stigma against Protoss as a whole and like PvP from like 2010. That stigma is still there.
I don't want to get all fighty about it. I don't agree. I still think, like, even with all these different build orders, as cool as they are, you still see the same units every single time doing the exact same things. Speaking of which, same things. We've got Mothership cores both being corralled in by Stalkers on each side of the field. But we got a Stargate coming out of First, opposed to the Robo opener here of Super.
And the Nexus. Yeah,
and the other Nexus, of course. Actually, the Nexus is definitely worth bringing up because oftentimes in PvP, this is such a big pivotal point in the game. Other matchups, I feel like the expansion timing is not as critical as PvP is. Speaking of which, with 3 Stalkers coming in, it's going to be pretty annoying to deal with this. You can, of course, force field the ramp, keep these up for as long as he needs to, but yeah, when the Nexus completes, an Orphan Charge will go down.
Nice.
Actually, he's going to focus the Mothership core instead. That's going to be cool. Just barely didn't get it. But the Overcharge might if he focus fires. Oh, nice snipe!
What a shot.
Good moves out of Super.
You won't have an a force overcharge for the Oracle now, but hopefully I'll warp a couple of Stalkers. I don't think he scouted the Stargate. He didn't.
Well, that and the Sentries are actually going to get picked apart by the Oracle more than the probes might. That might actually be more valuable because they're way more expensive than probes.
Can an Oracle kill 3 sentries?
Yeah,
probably.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're light units.
Too, right?
I believe it. It's just like, oh God.
I guess the question
Never
is if there's
really
any extra force involved. I mean, like if there's even just like 1 or 2 stalkers, he probably doesn't lose all those sentries. But he can still probably pick one and get off scot-free.
The 2 stalkers are warped in. He just barely saw that Stargate with the Hallucinated Phoenix. So, without that, a lot of probes could have died, as you said. The sentries could have as well.
Oh, the last bullet.
Taser, if you want to call it.
Right. Last.
Phew.
Okay, well, rest in peace, Oracle. You were a good thing to have, but not anymore. This is actually, you know, this gets a little bit scary now because there's going to be Immortals coming at his front door, and there's not a Void Ray out to stop this. There's the Oracle barely. I mean, maybe an overcharge with a big question mark, but these Immortals are going to tear everything down.
There's not even going to be an overcharge in time. 10 seconds.
Yeah, there should be an overcharge in time.
I think first feels very pressured right now that he hasn't done enough damage.
Yeah.
Losing Mother's Core and everything, and building the second Oracle. I guess if he wasn't feeling that pressure, he potentially could have made a Void Ray, and that might have helped him save his natural and all.
Save the game.
Yeah, save the game.
Save
Quite
the cheerleaders, save the
scary.
world.
No, not quite. Almost, though. Good job.
That stalker goes down so quick. Everything's just falling apart all over the place, and Super looks like he is probably just stomping right through first. Although Super's not focusing the Mothership Core for some reason, so now there's no anti-air to shoot this, and the Immortals might actually end up dying to it rather than be able to pursue their issue.
And no
Yeah,
proxy
when?
pylon, so there's no
Why did
follow-up attack.
like I thought for sure he was gonna focus that down, but that's actually a really big mistake. Like for all the probes he killed, that's great. He's monstrously far ahead in workers, but that's
why, maybe.
yeah, perhaps focusing a little bit at home, trying to dodge out that Oracle.
Hmm.
He did retain the Immortals though, so I mean they were there for round 2. He's not simply lost these to the nothingness.
Yeah, I mean, he still took a really great fight. Killing all those probes was really great. If he had a proxy pylon, he probably could have tried even further, but putting down 5 gateways, getting Blink, that's good too. A little surprised he is getting Blink, to be honest. Usually it's like you open up with Blink, or like maybe, you know, you get it like a little bit earlier on, but the later the game goes on, the less you think you're going to need Blink.
First still needs to do a lot more damage than what he's done so far.
Yeah, what he's done so far is defended. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it for damage.
Well, no, he's been trying with Oracle. It's just not enough.
It's true. It's true. He's getting 5 kills. 5.5.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate he couldn't finish off that probe. Meanwhile, Super has finally gotten a proxy pylon down. He is going to start pushing into this once more. The difference is this time around, first has got an Immortal or 2. This shouldn't be impossible to hold, but still very difficult nonetheless because Super's coming at it with more forces, superior forces. I guess the downside is he doesn't have upgrades, but I don't think that's going to factor in too much to the hardened shield here on these bad boys.
I'm not quite
Unfortunately.
understanding the choice of more Immortals by first, even though he has to start gates. Just because he's seen that Super had 2 Immortals originally when he came into the natural, and the only assumption is that there will be more Immortals. There's no way in hell first would be able to have more Immortals in the base. So why focusing on making more Immortals?
That
right?
Blink to the north going to catch off one of the Immortals. Having a hard time hammering through this Guardian Shield. But while this goes on, a Warp Prism unloads in the main with a couple of Zealots. Warps in even more Zealots. And he retains a good chunk of the forces over here.
Maybe looking to force foot off the main ramp, though he did warp in a sentry.
The Oracle dies. Takes out
This ain't gonna work out.
the Oracle kills like 2 workers, sadly. And, or no, 7 workers, my bad. But it's gone forever now is the problem. Probes being pulled into this, though. The Immortals. Oh,
Stalker getting on the wrong targets.
yeah, a lot of awkwardness actually going on here in this engagement, but those Zealots in the main were never... Oh, I guess they were finally cleaned up, but Stalkers? Oh, warping. I thought that was Super's warping. Never mind. The Immortal's starting to pitter out here. Last couple things dying, but still Super...
How is he almost making it look like he's sort of defending-ish?
Because there's a lack of focus fire with the Immortals. It's gonna be a win from Super, but
But look
like
at the resources lost at the end there, too, before we leave. Like 7,750. Like, Super did not take cost-effective engagements at all.